Media is a good thing, and it's free. Thank you, guys. Any other comments? All in favor? Any opposed? Routine item number 14, order accepting bid for an asphalt patch truck for the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Okay, Council. This is one of the items that actually was part of the budget this year. However, it will also be used, be very important in trying to address some of the issues we've talked about with our streets. So we went through our procurement process, and this was the successful low bidder, and we're asking that you accept this bid.
Any questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Routine item number 15, order accepting bid for asphalt paver for the Public Works Department.
Second. Okay, this is also an item that we will use to address the issues with our streets, primarily our neighborhood streets. As we began this journey in developing a paving program in-house, this was one of the key pieces of equipment we talked about from day one. So there again, we went through our procurement process. This was a successful low bid, and we ask that you accept this bid.
All in favor? Any opposed? Routine item number 16, order accepting bid for coal milling machine for the Public Works Department.
There again, pretty much the same thing. This is another piece of equipment that we'll use in conjunction with doing a lot of our street maintenance in-house.
Ask Director Smith here to explain exactly what coal milling machine is.
If you've ever watched any of the work on the interstate, there's a piece of equipment that seems like it's conveying loose rock or gravel. In other words, it actually goes in and mills up or destroys or peels off layers of asphalt that are removed, and then new asphalt's put in its place. That's important in the sense if you want to recycle asphalt sometimes to get the proper slope or grade back to the road surface, you have to remove layers of asphalt to do that. In Meridian, we have several layers of asphalt over the years. A lot of our streets have been overlaid many times. In times past, when we would go out to do work in our neighborhoods, we'd have to adjust the curb and gutter line or go through a milling process. This will save us an enormous amount of money. If you look at the paving process when you contract out the jobs, even the one you're going to approve this morning, one of the key components to that work is the milling operation. Being able to do milling in-house would also allow us to start doing what we call recycling asphalt. So over time, this will, if one piece of equipment that's going to save us money in the long run, this is it.
President Houston, you had brought up one time about noticing how it seemed like the street line was even with some of our curbs and gutters. This will give us the ability to mill down those slopes and to bring this to a better subsurface for later new asphalt.
How much of this is out of the bond?
This is completely out of bond. The only item that I believe is not bond is asphalt patch truck. I believe that's a budget item. But the asphalt paver, the milling machine, both come out of the bond.
This has come up too in the past about how,
That's good.
that the council would allocate the money or would make it available through the bond, and how we can't just go buy a piece of equipment that once the funds are available and we order it, they literally have to build that machine from the ground up.
Mr. Smith, I just want to note, and it's something that I think the council is very conscious of when we approve bids, whether it be in public works or in other departments. This bid is actually going to be awarded to a business here in the city of Meridian. So that's assuring.
Local dollars spent.
Yeah, very assuring that we're able to do that, considering the last two that we approved, a business within the city was beaten by one.
Every opportunity we come across, every chance we get, we try to do that. We try to work real close with the local vendors to make sure that they have a fair shot at winning some of the awards.
It's good.
I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
I ask you another question while you're up here. And we're buying this equipment. I've noticed we've paved some streets in the city already. We approved the bid to start this. At some point, can you give the council and the public some information on what's happening, when it's happening, where it's gonna happen, 'cause right now, things just happen.
Absolutely.
We don't know what streets are gonna be done, in what order, when it's gonna start, when it's gonna stop.
May I suggest another update at the next work session? I'll be more than welcome to do an update at
We can give the media that information, TV and radio and newspaper, so they can publish it, so the public will know.
Yeah.
That's my concern, the public.
Even and you gave us a copy of what is considered to be Phase 1 of the contractual paving and Phase 2 of the contractual paving.
Correct.
And then it's color mapped, so it showed exactly what was to be done to the selected streets.
Correct.
So I would recommend that you got that to the media, so the media can either publish that on paper form or be able to report to it in television,
Understood.
visual media form.
Now that it has been accepted, Mr. Smith has all the information he needs to be able to communicate,
If we're gonna internally pave like we've done some, just so the public knows ahead of time.
Any additional questions? All in favor? Any opposed? Routine item number 17, order accepting bid for asphalt mix for the Public Works Department.
So moved.
This is basically a source of supply for asphalt. We use asphalt in patching throughout town, and the way we acquire that asphalt is through a competitive bid process.
All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you, Mr. Smith and Mayor, for you all's diligence in making sure we can try to get some paving done
Absolutely.
real quickly here. We definitely, the citizens appreciate it. Routine item number 18, claims docket.
Second.
We didn't receive any questions via email, but if you do have any questions, President, CFO David Whitaker is here.
I saw no changes, what I've objected to for a while, so I'll vote no again.
I see no changes to what I've complained about for a while, so I'll say no also.
Any other questions or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Hey,
Hey,
Thank you. Routine item number 19, bid acceptance for the rehab paving project. Routine item number 19, I think it's bid acceptance, Phase 1 rehab program, dealing with the paving program.
Yes. As you're aware that we talked about this in some of our budget meetings as well as our work session. This is Phase 1 of the plan to go and overlay some of our main thoroughfares. So this is basically what you were discussing earlier, Councilman Moore. So we ask that you approve. This bid went through our normal procurement process, and APAC was a successful low bid.
If the map hadn't changed, it's going to encompass the, I think, 4 to 5 main thoroughfares and then Sweet Gum Bottom Road all being done, whether it be a milling and overlay or a curb and gutter repair or a combination of all three.
Correct.
let me see if my numbers are correct, because I think that's what people want to know. This bonding program will do 15 to 20% of Meridian Road, is what we've been hearing. Is that ballpark?
We're going to try to do 5% a year. If you look at a 5-year program, you get to the 15%.
That includes the 1 million for the side streets, which we all have some say in as far as putting some of our streets on top of our list. So we
Yes.
understood, okay?
Yes,
And the
that
other
is
mil-
correct.
And the other 1.5 million is for equipment, which we're already buying.
Correct.
We're on track.
Yeah, we're also, we recently, you all approved the acceptance of $700,000 sidewalk grant on Highway 80. We will be doing grant research as we continue on paving to look and see how much money we can attain from other
Funding
sources to redo our sidewalks as we continue on paving.
And there are also some roadway grants that are out there that we'll be able to go after in regards to having funds available to do matching dollars. So we'll stress these funds as far as we can to address as many of the issues that we all, talk about in regards to our streets.
We talked about it in late May, we talked about it across June and July, and we've talked about it during the budget process, but we've also discussed the possibility of having a work session above the approval of the first phase bid, work session regarding our inner city and community streets, how they're going to be ranked by priority, ones which have been ranked by priority, and a timetable for selection, approval, and then paving after phase 1 and phase 2. When are we looking at sitting down to discuss that in further detail and actually cement the streets that we want to look at within each particular ward?
If I may make a request, if council has some specific streets they want us to look at in detail in conjunction with the program, we're also reaching out to them to try to get some feedback and working with them on some streets as well. So if you have some, now would be a good time to go ahead and, provide that list to the Public Works Department, and we can do the work session at council's request.
Start date and the stop date, the contract paving, and what's the penalty involved if they don't meet the dates?
I think there's a 10-day mode timeline from the date of the notice to proceed, which we'll get that out today. APAC is a local company. I truly feel like they'll start prior to that 10-day window. The actual days, I think it's 100 and something days in the amount, but there again, if you ever watched APAC and the way they go about, they don't waste any time.
Dr. Thomas, APAC, in looking at the volume of work that they do around the state as well as here locally, they're trying to get their work done as quickly as possible to move on to the next job to be able to bid on it.
I have complete confidence in APAC. I'm talking about completion date, penalty if they don't do it. Was there any?
I'd have to look back at the actual permit document, but I couldn't give you the exact number off the top of my head, but there are always penalties in all
contracts. There is a start date, Dr. Thomas, after a mobilization date, and there is a penalty associated with not meeting that timeline that the work is supposed to be completed within. And I do not have that information in front of me, but I'll get it to you as soon as this meeting is.
When are we starting? Sorry, what do you mean? When are we starting?
10 days.
No,
From
when are
10
we
days
starting
from
in the fall? When is the company going to start? 30 days, 60 days?
No. I would say within the next 2 weeks, possibly sooner, but definitely within the next 2 weeks.
APAC's already doing some work in the city right now.
That's not under this bond, though. The work they're doing right now is not in conjunction with this bid or the bond money we're talking about. What I would assume is that they would just eventually just move into this work, and it would be more of a continuous process.
Give the media a copy of all that.
We'll give you a copy as well of what the timeline we're looking at as well.
Update daily as this thing is happening so they can put it out to the public.
Understand. And as we move these operations in-house, the timelines would definitely be more firm. As we have more control, because we'll be using city forces, even the planning and scheduling will be more of a firm process as we move forward.
I think it ought to be more firm with someone with contracting.
You have
them to do a job.
But you have guidelines, being a municipality, that we have to abide by.
We'll be working on our past experience with the MDA contract and Socrates Garrett not doing their job on time, not meeting deadlines. The public is so frustrated, and as a council member, I'm frustrated. We keep getting dates, and we just get dates. We don't get any completion, and I think that's why the public wants to hear start date, stop dates. I'm not, APAC's a great company. It's up to me that have done this other project, anything we're going to do.
Unlike the contract you just mentioned, that was a state-funded contract,
No.
MBA. This is a city-funded contract through our bond. Dr. Thomas will be giving you updates. We will also be overseeing this directly ourselves, and we'll be working through leading edge to get it out to the public in a timely manner.
And at some point in the next, since the new completion date, I think, is the end of September now for the downtown mess, can y'all keep us updated? Do y'all realistically expect them to complete that project within this month?
No, we just said start.
Yes, I do, Dr.
No, he's talking about Socrates Garrett.
Yeah, you're talking about a different project, but Dr. Thomas, we do continue to meet with not only our attorneys, but also with MDA's Enforcement Division, and we do continue to collaborate, but I do know that you all probably noticed how it has stepped up downtown as far as trying to meet a timeline. But yes, Dr. Thomas, I do fully expect that. Yeah.
Just to give clarification, because I think both sides are kind of saying the same thing to an extent, but just to give clarification to what your comments are and what the public is expecting to hear, from the investigative report, it was initial report August 31st. That's clearly past the deadline. I think the new deadline, MBA mandated deadline is September 23rd. So I think, is that correct?
These have all been MDA deadlines.
Yeah.
And here recently, they had the director of MBA's compliance division came down, met with our city attorneys, and this new date has been settled upon. But we are moving forward, and we appreciate all the downtown business owners bearing with us to bring this to completion.
Okay.
I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Presentation agenda, mayor's report.
All right, real quick, I'm going to ask Mr. Kevin Magruder, Director of Parks and Rec, and Kevin Locke in Community Development, come up real quick. Real quick today, first I want to thank you all for everything we discussed this morning, and Richie's passing out, and you all have as many of those annual reports as you need. But to echo what Leading Edges and Tony was talking about this morning, us being able to make the public aware and feel pride in our community, in our city, is very important to us. Also, as we continue to get more and more data as it relates to this city, our polling tells us that, we are still fighting perception issues in our city, even though we have a lot of growth and a lot of great things going on. So what Tony was communicating today was, as we advance further into what we're trying to do to market this city, we will continue to give you all campaigns so that we can position and market our city to make it more, I guess, marketable for those people who view it and also the people who live here. So first I want to thank you for what you all voted on earlier for us to advance the campaign to reach a greater audience and also to better market our city. We had a very nice event this Sunday, and I'm going to let Mr. Magruder talk about our blues event really quick, and also the events that we have going on around town. And then Kevin Locke is here today to present an Urban Forestry Award that was awarded to the city of Meridian. So without further ado.
Morning, Council.
Good morning.
I forwarded some information to Ms. Joanne about the events that Park and Rec is having this past Sunday. We had a blues festival. I think it was outstanding. A lot of participation, a lot of collective effort of everybody involved in it. Had no incidents. People enjoyed themselves. So that's something we were looking at. We don't want the park just to be just for baseball and soccer. We want to be able to open those parks, those venues up to something else. And also on September the 17th at Highland Park, there'll be Nickelodeon Day of Play from 10 o'clock until 2. That's the day we're bringing the families and children together for one day of festive play. It's a national program with Nickelodeon, and we just kind of tag on with it with our Parks and Recreation program. But again, I'll be forwarding Ms. Joanne updates as we get things going on for the October month as well. Thank you.
And we make sure that updated on the website also.
We'll do.
Thank you.
Morning, members of the council.
Good morning.
I have Ms. Donna Yowell here with the, excuse me, and this is the Urban Forest Council. She's here to present 2 awards to the city.
Thank you for having us here today. We started working with Meridian 27 years ago, and then 26 years ago, y'all became a tree city. And the cities that we work with around the state, some of them are just excellent and outstanding in urban forestry. Trees play an important role in communities as to places, creating better places that people want to live, work, and visit. And I know that you guys have a lot of tourism, so trees are an important part of that. And we wanted to present for some of your outstanding work. And 2, I wanted to mention the team that you have put together to work on your community forest in your city is excellent. They do outstanding, very progressive work. And we wanted to recognize y'all's effort and support in urban forestry with a couple of things. 1, your tree city, 26 years. That's no little feat. That's a big thing to ask there. There's several criteria to be a tree city. Meridian has met those consistently for 26 years. And then in addition to your outstanding work, I'll let you hear that so I won't break it. I've been breaking things lately. In addition to all the outstanding work that you're doing with your economic development, we want to recognize the city as the government award. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
Is that it, Mayor Blaine? Okay. Well, congratulations, and the tree thing is a good thing. However, we do have some major concerns. I had several trees that fall within my district that we've gotten several complaints on that could have killed people. All right? Yes, I said that in the microphone, because I really would like for us to be a little bit more diligent in those trees, with those humongous trees that's within neighborhoods that's on the city right away, that is a big issue. We definitely need to be a little bit more aggressive in addressing those before it becomes something very serious. All right?
Campbell, if I may, I agree with you. While I commend Mr. Kevin Locke for his work in community development in that department and what he's been able to do with regards to trees and making sure that they're assessed properly, we are still barely scratching the surface as it relates to our internal issues within inner city communities. I'm not going to say they're dangerous. I'm not going to say they have the potential to kill anyone, but they are definitely threats to right-of-ways and other homes in that area. A lot of them have fallen before we've gotten the opportunity to get to them. A lot of them, the city has potentially been placed on notice about that we have not handled as quickly as we should. So we do need to really assess what's going on the inner city, because in doing that, we're giving the citizens a product that they can see and providing solutions to something that was previously a hazard to them.
No more big trees.
Councilman, Mr. Locke and Mr. Gaither, as well as Director Partridge, have begun taking some of their older information and putting into their new software for tree mapping, and we do understand your concerns, and we are moving forward to address them.
Great.
Thank you. All right, citizen comments. First, we have Mr. Dennis Allen. You have 3 minutes, and just as a point of making sure we're all on the same page, according to our rules, please address the council as a whole, not any individuals.
Not individuals?
Not any individuals, but the council as a whole, please.
How y'all doing this morning?
Good morning.
Good. Okay then. Well, I'll come and talk about the crime in the city. That's what I signed up for on the agenda.
Yes, sir.
Crime in the city, but it really is basically boiled down to economics. I noticed that the mayor asked you all to allocate some funds for next year. concerning the new Kids Museum, and also $135,000, if I'm correct, for the Boys and Girls Club to help out with the youth in our community. And like I just stated, it's basically economic. The kids don't have, especially the minority community. I speak about the minority community because I've been a lifelong resident of the East End area. And that's one of the councilmen districts, y'all know that. But anyway, but the funds that he asking for, y'all should go ahead and grant them that because the kids need something to do in the community. What profit the city gain the whole world and lose all these innocent souls? These kids that dying out in the street because of violence, they ain't got nothing to do. Y'all also gave us the opportunity to vote for the 2% tax increase on the food and beverage. What about giving up that same option for the sportsplex over in Highland Park for our kids? Give them something to do. We all know that out of mind to give a workshop, so let's go ahead and do it for these kids. They're killing one another. All the gang activity in my community, which I'm fellow ex-member of the Vice Lord in this town over 30 years ago, but I reformed myself by knowledge. These kids, they lack the knowledge. They got leaders leading them down the wrong path, and then y'all playing politics. They're trying to be about the people's business. Like I stated in the past, you're not bankers. You still want to bring increase the water bill, the trash bill. We already gave you the 2%. What about the people? What about the minority community? Who's going to protect our kids? Who's going to protect their interests? It's supposed to be you all, but y'all playing politics. And a whole lot of you up there, you see directly at the whole, but I know for a fact that 3 of them on the panel now, they formed a coup, a propaganda against the mayor to undermine his election for next year. I don't got to say their name, they know who they are. Everything this man trying to bring to the table, y'all overruled it and objected it. Let's look how the body cannot stand. It's time out for this nonsense. Stop being, politics or whatever you want to call it. But let's be about the people business. You know, we can shake our head, but still, the fact remains. If you're not going to do your job, like I said before, resign. Better yet, we're going to vote you out, like we voted you in. If you're not going to do the people business, it's time for you to vote. I recommend the majority of the House be clean. Y'all have a nice day, and God bless y'all.
All right. Next, we have on our citizen comments, Mr. Wayne Phillips. We do ask, you have 3 minutes, and we do ask that you address all your comments to the council as a whole.
Okay, first off, I'd like to thank the police department for what they do. I'm the president of the local Friendly Neighborhood Watchers, which is in Oakland Heights. It's the oldest neighborhood watch in the city. We've been watching on the news and all the police are supposed to be getting somewhat of a raise. I'm here to say that they play one of the most, if not the most important part of this city. People are scared to go out after dark. We're 25 or 30 officers short. The only way that you can get employees and keep them is money, pay it. And for what they do, they should not have to work 2 jobs to protect me. 90% of them are working 2 jobs. They work the police force, then work part-time somewhere else. That's a disgrace. They go out and risk their life every day for all of us. They should